Welcome here, ASMR reading.
Hello and welcome to my channel. It's Jessica Mahoney and today we'll be reading
Please like and subscribe for more.
Fellowship of the Ring, Lord of the Rings, Part 1. Yes. Okay, so we're just going to pick off where we left off. We're going to pick up where we left off. And on page 77, a young page 77, we still have a million years to go. So it's okay, let's get going. Let's begin. A heavy silence fell in the room. Frodo could hear his heart beating. Even outside, everything seemed still. No sound of Sam's shears could now be heard. Yes, to Mordo, said Gandalf. Alas, Mordo draws all wicked things, and the Dark Tower was bending all its will together them there. And the Dark Power was bending all its will together them there. The ring of the enemy would leave its mark too, leave him open to the summons. And all folk were whispering then the new shadow of the south and its hatred of the west. There were there were his friends, there were his fine new friends who would help him in his revenge. Wretched fool, in that land he would learn much, too much for his comfort, and sooner or later he lurked and pried on the borders. He would be caught. And sooner or later he lurked and pried on the borders. He would be caught and taken for examination. That was the way of it, I fear. When he was found, he already had been there long, and was on his way back on some errand of mischief. But that was no matter much now. His worst mischief was done. Yes, alas, through him the enemy has learned that the one has been found again. He knows where Isildur fell. He knows where Gollum found his ring. He knows that it is a great ring, for it gave long life. He knows that it is not one of the three, for they have never been lost, and they endure no evil. He knows that it is not one of the 7 or the 9, for they are counted for. He knows that it is one, and he has at last heard, I think, of hobbits and the Shire. The Shire he may be seeking for it now, if he has not already found out where it lies. Indeed, Frodo, I fear that he may even think that the long unnoticed name of Baggins has become important. But this is terrible, cried Frodo, far worse than the worst that I imagined from the hints and the warnings. Oh, Gandalf, best of friends, what am I to do? For now I am really afraid. What am I to do? What a pity that Bilbo did not stab that vile creature when he had the chance. Pity. It was a pity that stayed on his mind. Pity and mercy, not to strike without need, and he has been well rewarded, Frodo. But sure that he took so little hurt from the evil, and escaped in the end, because he began his ownership of the ring so with pity. I'm so sorry, said Frodo, but I am frightened, and I do not feel any pity for Gollum. You have not seen him? Gandalf broke in. No, and I don't want to, said Frodo. I can't understand you. Do you mean to say that you and the elves have let him live on after all those terrible deeds? Now, at any rate, he is as bad as an oak and just an enemy. He deserves death. Deserves it? Adariously, he does. I dare say he does. Many that live deserve death, and some that die deserve life. Can you give it to them? Then do not say too eager to deal out death in judgment, for even the very wise cannot see all ends. I have not much hope that Gullum can be cured before he dies. But there is a chance of it, and he is bound up the fate of the ring. My heart tells me he has some part to play yet, for good or evil, before the end, and when that comes, the pity of Bilbo may rule the fate of many, yours not last. In any case, we did not kill him. He is very old and very wretched. The wood elves have him in prison, but they treat him with such kindness that they can find in their wise hearts. All the same, said Frodo, even Bilbo could not kill Gollum. I wish I had not kept the ring. I wish I had never found it, and that I had not got it. Why did you let me sleep? Why did you let me keep it? Why didn't you make me throw it away? Or destroy it? Listening to all that I have said, you're not thinking of what you're saying. But as for throwing it away, that was obviously wrong. These rings have a way of being found. In evil hands, it might have done great evil. Worst of all, it might have fallen into the hands of the enemy. Indeed, it certainly would. For this is the one, and he is exerting all power to find it or draw it to himself. Of course, my dear Frodo, it was dangerous for you, and that has troubled me deeply. But there was so much at stake that I had to take some risk, though even when I was far away, there has never been a dark day when the Shire has not been guarded by watchful eyes. As long as you never used it, I did not think that the ring would have had any lasting effect on you, not for evil, not at any rate for a very long time. And you must remember that 9 years ago, when I last saw you, I still knew little for certain. But why not destroy it as you say should have been done long ago? Cried Frodo again. If you had warned me, or even sent me a message, I would have done away with it. Would you? How would you do that? Have you ever tried? No, but I suppose one could hammer it, melt it. Try, said Gandalf. Try now. Frodo drew the ring out of his pocket again and looked at it. It now appeared plain and smooth, without mark or device that he could see. The gold looked very fair and pure, and Frodo thought how rich and beautiful it was in colour, how perfect was its roundness. It was an admirable thing, and together precious. When he took it out, he had intended to fling it from him into the very hottest part of the fire. But he found now that he could not do so, not without a great struggle.
Okay, guys, that's all we have time for today. If you've been watching this far, thank you so much. And stay tuned for more reading of The Lord of the Rings. And I'll see you soon.